Okay, so when we're talking attractive character, we have to talk about the identity of an attractive character. There are different identities. Here we quote four. There is the leader. This identity is assumed usually by people whose goals are to lead people from one place to another. They usually present themselves as individuals who know hurdles and pitfalls the audience members will likely face on the journey to get ultimate result. The audience goes to help to them for help because they want to be where they are. So the leader is basically somebody that comes and says, you know what, I know what it means to be um, like Jared, for example. He could come to someone who's out of shape and tell them, I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like not to fit in your clothes. I know what it feels like to wake up depressed. I know what it feels like to be unliked. I know what it feels like to not be fit enough to play sports. I know what it feels like to go up the staircase, the stairway, you know? And but I know the secret. I know because look at me before and look at me now. I can lead you. Okay? There's also the personality, the adventurer or crusader. These guys don't claim that they know all the answers, but they define themselves as people that are set out on a journey to discover the ultimate truth and to present it to the audience. These are generally the bloggers, the adventurers, the guys that go out and experience something for the first time and they report it to people, saying like, look at us. We thought that this was like this, and but now after we've experienced it, and they what they do is they document their experience and share it with the world. The reporter or evangelist, well, just to be as brief as I can, this you can think of Larry King, for example. He falls under this category of the reporter or evangelist. The reluctant hero is like is exactly that humble hero who doesn't really want the spotlight. He tells you, I don't want to be famous. I don't think I'm a hero. I don't think I'm I don't think I'm good enough. Uh, but can't help but share what he found to save the world. At the same time, he says he doesn't want to be famous. He doesn't want the spotlight, but still something in him makes him reluctant and makes him move because he says, well, if I don't do this, then nobody else will. So I probably just gotta do this. Some storylines of the attractive characters. So stories are a great way to communicate with your audience, and there are six basic storylines that businesses use over and over again in emails, sales letters, landing pages, and other communications. They are used because they work. Each one is crafted for a specific purpose. Okay, so uh, let's talk about this storyline, loss and redemption. I had everything. I was on top of the world. Life was great. Then this happened. I had to figure my way out, but it turned out to out of misery, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I went through hell and I learned and received $100 million. Now I live in a palace. So yeah, that's a basic loss and redemption story that you can use. You can say, well, uh, I had everything. I was rich, I was funny, I had a wife, I had kids. Then this happened. I felt I lost my money, I lost everything. I had to figure my way out of that crisis. But it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I went through all of that and I learned and I've doubled my income that I used to have. And my wife, she's back and my kids are back and it's even better than it was. That's classic loss and redemption. There's also us versus them. You want to use, the polarizing, the polarity that we've talked about of President Trump. You can use that, even though Trump is not a likable guy. But I don't know that somehow I just like to use his name. Remember the power of polarity. Using these types of stories will draw your raving fans even closer and give them a rallying cry against the outsiders. I often call out the talkers versus the doers on my list. I want people to make a choice about who they are because if they're with me, then they will be the doers continuing to ascend with me. So basically, you're giving people status. You're telling them, if you come with me, you'll be with the guys, the men. If you go with them, then you're like them. And so you create this polarity, which, you know, some people will follow you and some will not. And we've speculated before that it's not interesting about the people that don't follow you. The most interesting, the ones that follow you are the ones that you should give your attention to. Uh, there is also the before and after. First, I was 160 pounds. Now I am 300 pounds. That's the story in reverse, man. But you can say, first I was 300 pounds. Now I am 160 pounds. There are stories of transformation and they are very powerful and engaging. People relate the most to these kinds of stories. Like I was unattractive, so I followed Program X by V Shred, and I have more girls than I can count. I was poor and I followed this guy, and look at me now. I live in a mansion in Beverly Hills. There are also some amazing discovery stories that you can use. Oh my God, wait till you guys hear about this amazing new thing I have discovered that totally changed me from being this fat guy to this fit guy. You got to try this. These types of stories usually carry out answers to what people are looking for. There's also that note, don't forget that we are answering questions here. So make sure that you answer questions that engage the most people. Secret telling. Secret telling is also another storyline that you can use to your advantage. I have a secret. If you want to find it out, you gotta click this link and purchase this because if you want this, then you should give me this. That's it. So that's a give and take kind of relationship, but it works. It worked and it works and it will continue to work. Third people testimonial, sharing other people's success stories and relating them to whatever you're trying to sell is a powerful social proof that enhances trust. Okay, so you can't if you're trying to introduce a product, you can't just come and introduce the product and say, well, you know what? Look at this product right here. I think this is a great product, you know, and even though it was never tested before, even though nobody has ever purchased it, but I think it's great. Do you think that there are some people who are in their, I mean, who in their right mind would sit there and say, this product has never been purchased? Okay, I'll purchase it, and I'll make sure that all my friends purchase it. Nobody will purchase it because nobody trusted it in the first place. So in order for you to be able to sell it, what you should do, you can use this third person testimonial thing, and you could bring people to a seminar or to, I don't know, one-on-one negotiation. You could tell the other guy, look, I've got this client right here. He trusts me. I'll let my client talk. I'll let my client. I mean, Mr. Client, what do you think? Can you just give us a word here and tell my new client, what you think about us? So yeah, okay, so now we've wrapped up the attractive character. I just thought that this is something that could be very useful before we move on. I just thought that you need to understand how to build because this is necessary. This is necessary to build an attractive character around the site. You can't just have a static site that has no personality to it, no life to it, and expect it to be a success. So in the next video, we are going to build our attractive character based on what we've learned during these past 25 minutes. And we're going to add a about us page, adding, all of these things, on that page. So stay in tune, go get your coffee and see you on the next video.